Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another trade recap, and today we're going over yesterday's trade from the 23rd of July where we secured 43 handles inside the lunch macro. So let's get straight into it. So firstly, going over the first trade, which was actually a break-even trade. This was inside the second AM macro. So the first macro, price literally dumped from New York Open, and I was then only looking for longs because once we took out those points of sell side, I was only interested in looking for longs. And some longs could have potentially have shown themselves, but we just never got the setup, so we never ended up taking anything. And due to my patience and discipline, I'm only waiting for something clean that I'm actually confident about taking. Some people may have taken longs, but personally there was nothing there for me to take. But then coming into the second day macro, even though we're still at this point of Asia lows and we have a bullish S&T, price then formed this 15-minute high, and in my rules is after price sweeps a major point of liquidity such as session liquidity like Asia lows, Asia highs, London lows, any 15-minute high or low is a valid sweep or liquidity. Now price looked like it was still wanting to draw lower, potentially for ES to go and take out Asia lows as well, or target 23108. So I marked out this point as minor buy side, and if we were to get a sweep of this point, then I would have been interested in taking shorts. But if we had got a displacement higher and a tap back into a fair value gap before this point of minor buy side, then I would have been interested in taking longs. But as you can see here, price went up and took out minor buy side, so this was the setup I was looking at. We had a displacement lower through this short-term low on both NQ and ES, and we swept this short-term high, and then we had this 1 minute bearish fair value gap that was left behind. So just a tap on this gap, I was in for shorts. So there we have it. So I was short there, stop at the high for 22 handles, and then TP at the low for 44 points. And then break even at this first short-term low. So let's see what we got from this trade. So firstly, ES was taking out all points of short-term lows. These short-term lows were getting ran through, and at this point I should have been break even on Nasdaq, but we were so close to break even that there's no point of even going break even. You gotta give your trade some room to breathe. But once we came up, formed a short-term high, formed a second short-term high and swept it, we then took out this short-term low, displacing lower. So I then reduced my risk just above this short-term high for 9 handles. So at this point, price has now come back up, re-tapped into this 1 minute bearish. Then if we had taken this short-term low here, then I would have been break even. And there we have it. We took that first short-term low and I was break even, and then price stopped us out. So really it was a very choppy trade. Nasdaq was not giving us what we wanted, and I was not very happy with how it was moving. ES was taking out all these points, so we were just having bullish SMTs, and at that point, once we're taking these points and I should be break even, that's a trade I no longer want to be in. So then you can see prices ran higher and we saved ourselves from getting fully stopped out, and our risk management coming into play. Once again, we can actually see that we've had a manipulation higher to go and take out London highs, and we've actually taken out all-time highs on ES. So that means huge bearish S&T, because all-time highs for Nasdaq is all the way up here at 23424, whereas we've just taken it on ES. So looking for longs is not even an option. How are you looking for longs when we're at all-time highs? So still running a bearish bias even after sweeping minor buy side. We've now taken out London highs on both NQ and ES, all-time highs taken on ES, so bearish S&T. We formed this short-term high on NQ, so we can now see that this short-term high then got swept on NQ. It also got swept on ES. So now I'm simply looking for a displacement lower through this short-term low, So let's see if we get this displacement. And there we have it. That is a super clean, like bang on perfect example of a displacement I want to see. So I was very certain I was going to be taking shorts here. There we go. 1 minute bearish has presented itself. So just a tap on this gap, we will be in for shorts. Stop loss at the high for 23 handles. And then when picking up my TP, right, this is where market experience comes into play, because there is multiple lows that you could have picked up from here, but this one in particular stood out to me because firstly it is the first 5 minute short term low, because we have a bearish candle followed by a bullish candle, and so this would be the short term low, and this is the lowest point of that short term low. So I simply mark that out as my TP, and that was simply my target. You just mark out what makes the most sense, where price is likely going to draw to, and that does factor in with a lot of market experience. But if you backtest enough and you're going over the trades each and every day, you will start to see these happen, and you'll be able to think instantly. I think about my target when I enter the trade. So I saw it instantly and I was like, yep, that's my target, that's what I'm looking for. You guys can look at it on the live streams or when I posted the video of this live trade of how my thought process was. So there we go, we tap into that gap. Now this first short term low will be my break even point. So Nasdaq's now taken this first short term low, so I'm now trailing my stop not above this short term high but just to the high of this candle. So we've got around 18 points of risk on this trade now, and there we go. So now we are fully break even on this trade, so risk free there. And there we have it, TP smashed, and we were fully out there for 43 handles. So that was a completely perfect bang on trade. Didn't even have any drawdown for any of that trade. It was a little bit choppy at the start, but then we finally had some movement and perfectly moved lower. ES then tapped into this 5 minute bullish gap. Then you'll be able to see from this point we never went lower than this point of minor sell side. It just continued going higher, and that is why when I do things it makes sense. Everything I do is for a reason, and you can't fake this, guys. You cannot fake this. I mean, I've done it right in front of my members' eyes, and I've done it on live stream, and I posted a full video unedited. So that's not enough proof for you guys. I don't know what is. So join the free Telegram, join the winning team, link in the bio. And then if you want to join the VIP server and watch me trade live each day, then message me on Instagram or direct on Telegram, wherever you want, and we can get you inside straight away. So hope you guys have enjoyed this recap, and I'll see you in the next one.